Hello, hello.
Hey guys.
Hi, Lukas.
Hi man.
Great to have you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I'm good. As you see, we have a lot of listeners. A lot of people are very happy to listen about Flux, to know more about Flux. We're very excited that this is the first time that we have someone from Flux team on an Arabic channel. It's such a pleasure to have you with us. My friend Tamer will help me a little bit with the conversation. We're also going to try to keep it short and translate every sentence to Arabic so everyone feels involved, everyone can understand. Okay, I'll just wait for a few seconds, and then we're going to start with the questions. تمام. Tamer?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm sorry. I had just a technical issue.
It's very fine.
I'm already there.
It's very fine. It's very fine. Okay, I'm going to start. Lukas, can you please tell us how would you explain Flux to someone who isn't very technical, who doesn't know much about blockchain and how it works? How would you describe Flux to them?
Mm-hmm. Shall I do like a quick introduction first, maybe?
Please.
Yes. Okay. So first thing, assalamu alaikum to
Wa alaikum assalam.
listeners. I'm Lukas, business developer at Flux. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Germany. I joined the blockchain space in 2018 and found out about Flux pretty early on. I think late of 2018 actually. Joined their team or joined their Discord and got involved more and more. And then I was basically invited to join their official team, right? And since then I've been part of it all. So
amazing.
Okay, so what is Flux about, right? I will do it in quick two parts. First about the blockchain. Flux is a fork of Bitcoin and Zcash. Our blockchain consensus is proof of work, but we have modified the mining algorithm to be ASIC resistant, which is really important for us, right? We want the little guy to be able to mine Flux. Mm-hmm. And additionally, we are a fair launch project, so no VC, no private sale, no ICO. We are in fact 94.7% community owned. Translate that quickly first.
May I ask you? You said something about it's something you mentioned really important. Isaac, did you say that?
ASIC.
ASIC.
We are ASIC resistant.
Can you explain what that means?
Well, ASICs are pretty much the mining machines.
Okay.
That are built. They're really efficient, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole Bitcoin is getting mined by only ASICs pretty much.
Oh, the company. Okay.
Well, ASIC is like the type of machine, right? There's like GPU mining,
Mm-hmm.
FPGA mining, and then there's ASIC mining, which is the best hardware basically.
Okay.
And dedicated machines.
Awesome.
Just one more thing,
Mm-hmm.
very important, Lucas. You mentioned ASIC modified. That mean if somebody got the big GPU miner, so the token will not be mined from a big companies or big miners. So the token will not be concentrated in a hand of only big miners company.
Exactly. Right? That's exactly why we have modified the algorithm, to make it ASIC resistant, right?
Okay, Lukas, I'm going to jump to the next question. What is it? Yes, please.
Just a quick thing, because I didn't talk about the decentralized cloud yet, right?
Mm-hmm. That was actually my next question. Can you tell us about the decentralized cloud and what is a cloud infrastructure?
So Flux Cloud is basically a decentralized cloud, right? So instead of big data centers that we maintain, the backbone of our cloud is basically our community. So they run servers from all across the world and basically provide us with their resources, and they get incentivized by 50% of our total block reward. And the whole decentralized cloud aspect is leveraging the Flux blockchain in the backend, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Flux Cloud is basically about.
Lukas, I'm going to ask you a question. Do people have access? So if I run a node and I am part of the network or part of the cloud, do I have access to any data?
Right now that's you basically are running your Flux node. We call it Flux node, right? As root, if that says something to you. So you are like the owner of the server, right?
Okay.
So right now you have mostly access to all the data, yeah.
Okay. But I cannot change it, right?
You cannot change it. But that is something we are currently looking into, right?
Okay.
Because it's a known issue to us. So right now we some applications, they don't really make sense to be hosted on the Flux Cloud, right? Because of that issue, basically. But we are already attacking that and are heavily looking into what can be done.
Okay.
Lukas, you got also relating to clouds, you got also one important thing, and that's your storage is not in only one primary place, like you got it in 3 places. So if someone or if one fell down, so the other 2 will work as a backup, and that will what make it really special, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a big advantage that we offer people. Is basically that our whole system is built around redundancy. It's called redundancy. So all applications running on the Flux Cloud are running on minimum 3 servers simultaneously. And like you said, right, if one server goes down for whatever reason, if there's like no electricity for that server, whatever, the other 2 servers are still intact. And even this one server that went down will get replaced by another server automatically. Yeah. And the customer doesn't need to do anything, right?
Exactly. And you are the only project that has these advantages.
Yeah.
Okay. Shukran, Tamer. Lukas, do you know what shukran means?
Yeah. The redundancy aspect, right?
Shukran means thank you.
Shukran means thank you. Yeah, I know. Shukran.
Very good. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Shukran.
I know some Arabic words, yeah. I have an Arabic friend, so
okay.
I'm used to listen to Arabic. I was even in Algeria once.
In Algeria?
A couple of years ago. Algeria, yeah.
Amazing. I love Algeria. One of my very good friends and team members is from Algeria.
Nice. Yeah. It was a really nice place.
Yes. Inshallah, few more spaces, Lukas, and we'll give you an Arabic name.
Oh, yeah. For sure, man.
Okay. Nice. My next question is very important. One of the questions that I really want to know, and I think a lot of people would like also to know. Can anyone use the Flux Cloud, or does it only have to be Web3 related? And what is the cost of using Flux Cloud? Why would I not use Google Drive instead?
So Flux Cloud is pretty much permissionless, I would say. We currently still have something in place that we call whitelist process, because we have to be careful what gets deployed on these community servers, right? We don't want illegal applications to be deployed on their behalf, basically, on their server, because they could get in trouble, right? But other than that, it's pretty permissionless. And the cost, basically, it's depending on the amount of resources and amount of servers you want to utilize simultaneously, right? But I can promise we have like really uncompetitive pricing. I would say we are like 1/10 of the cost of Amazon.
1/10?
1/10, if not even cheaper. And we have like a calculator at cloud.runonflux.io. You can play around with that and get like their own, can see it themselves.
Lukas, I think this is the most important question that we all want to know about. Can anyone run a node on Flux? What are the requirements? And can you tell us how much do we expect? If I run a node, how much do I expect per month in return, for example?
So everybody can run a node, but there are some requirements, of course, right? So to run a node, you need to have access to Flux coins, which we call collateral.
Okay.
And you will need to have access to hardware, right?
Okay.
And the hardware piece, you can either use your home PC. It needs to run 24/7.
Okay.
Or we have people that rent servers on service providers like Hetzner, DigitalOcean, etc. Right?
Okay. And how do you get access to collaterals? Is it enough to have Flux tokens?
You need Flux mainnet actually, and Flux tokens are what we call parallel assets, right?
Okay.
The Flux token on all the major EVM chains.
Okay.
But you need, so we have a free tier node system. We have 3 kind of Flux nodes.
Okay.
And they are all increasing in collateral and hardware requirements. And to run like the lowest tier, you need 1,000 Flux, which is about $500, right? $450.
Okay.
And the highest tier is 40k Flux.
Okay.
Which is a little bit more, right?
Lucas, but
Yeah.
I guess there is another one. The fourth one, when you have to get 50,000 Flux, that calls a Titan or Titan. And with that one, you don't run your node yourself, but you give your Flux to somebody who's having a node, right?
Yeah, I can talk about that in a second, actually. I wanted to talk about that anyway, so...
Okay, Lukas, can you tell us about the... Can you keep going?
Yeah, I will keep going. So I next wanted to talk about the incentives, right? How are you getting incentivized? So all the Flux nodes are reserved of 50% of our total block rewards. Like I said, our blockchain is proof of work. Mm-hmm. So 50% is for the proof of work miners, and 50% is for these Flux node operators. And
can you repeat that? So
50% is reserved for the proof of work miners,
mm-hmm.
and 50% is reserved for the Flux node operators, which are the backbone of the Flux Cloud, right?
Okay.
And then this 50% for the Flux node operators is also, how do you say it, splitted between the different tiers, because we have 3 tiers, right?
Okay.
So, but the highest node tier, the highest Flux node tier earns the most rewards out of that 50%,
okay.
respectively.
Okay. Lukas?
So, yeah, quick thing I just wanted to say about the profitability. It, of course, depends where you're hosting your hardware, right? Are you running it from home? Do you need to rent servers? But a nice place to check for profitability or like revenue is home.runonflux.io.
Mm-hmm.
And we have like a rewards dashboard, and then rewards tab basically shows you how much Flux you would earn per day, per week, per month, right?
Okay.
To get like a general idea.
Okay, my next question, Lukas, would be, so I saw on your website there's more than 12,000 nodes. This contributes to the decentralization of Flux. As I told the people that I do believe that blockchain is Bitcoin is the only decentralized, 100% decentralized project, and every other project is trying to be as decentralized as possible, and you guys did amazing with that. You have 12,000 nodes. Besides that, how do you guys guarantee security and scalability of the ecosystem? So how do you guarantee security of the data saved on Flux Clouds, and what do you do about scalability of the ecosystem?
Mm-hmm. So the security aspect also relies on the Flux blockchain, right? And that is, like I said, our consensus proof of work. Mm-hmm. And we strongly believe in that ethos. We don't plan to switch to proof of stake. Mm-hmm. At least at this current stage. Who knows if something major changes in the future, we of course will see what we can do, right? But so the security aspect, is relying on the proof of work consensus. We have a lot of miners support us, so I would say we are like a secure blockchain. In regarding to scalability, this more belongs to the Flux Cloud aspect, right? And that's an interesting concept because we have something called Flux node halvings. I think everybody heard of Bitcoin halvings, right? Which is proof of work, the proof of work consensus halving. But we have something called Flux node halving, where we basically lower, for example, the Flux collateral to lower the entry barrier. And we had one Flux node halving so far, which was a great success. And we basically lowered the Flux collateral entry barrier from, I think it was 10,000 Flux for the lowest tier to now 1,000 Flux. Okay. And because of that, we had a big spike in Flux nodes supporting us, right? I think we went from 2,500 to over 10,000 nodes in less than a year.
Okay. Wow.
So that was like a big scaling effect for us,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Lucas, I just have one follow-up question. So the halving process that you guys did, was it a one-time thing or is it going to happen over and over?
For now, it was a one-time thing, but it's probably going to happen over and over, right?
Okay.
Something we are thinking about for the next halving is not just like a collateral halving, but also go the other way, the other route, right? Maybe we need to increase the hardware requirements for one tier, or every tier, maybe even, because we see
to increase what?
The hardware requirements for these nodes.
Okay.
Because we see that, for example, blockchain full nodes, like for example Ethereum or all these other new layer ones, right? They require a lot of resources to run their nodes. So that's basically limiting us currently in a way, because we have like a maximum amount of resources that we can offer, right? And storage, for example, is always a limitation for us, because, for example, Ethereum full node requires over 1 terabyte of storage, and we can maximum allow like 880 gigabytes.
Okay.
Right?
Lukas, we saw lately that the SEC, they are suing Binance and Coinbase, and they said that Solana, Polygon, BNB, and other tokens are securities and not cryptocurrencies. I saw that Flux reacted with that and spoke about how Flux is a cryptocurrency. It's not a security. What did you guys do to guarantee that you are following up with the SEC requirements in the States to stay cryptocurrency, to remain as cryptocurrency and not as a security?
So first I want to say we have like a great connection to expertise in the legal world, both in US and Europe, right? And over the course of the years, we have undergone 2 legal reviews by experts to go over that topic, right? Is Flux a security or not? And there's something called Howey test, and that's what these legal teams basically do, right? And if you fail it, you are not a security, and if you pass it, there's an issue, right? And in both reviews, we have done one in the US and one in Europe, Liechtenstein. They deemed Flux to not be a security, and I can go over the points after you translate it. Yeah,
I'll do that. I'll do that. Lucas, please go ahead.
So all these assets or coins that you just mentioned, right? Solana, BNB, Matic, I think Cardano is one of them. They all have one thing in common, which is basically, or two things actually, which is they are proof of stake, and they had pre-sale, ICO, IEO, however you want to call it, right? VC investments in the past. So, and Flux doesn't have that. We are proof of work. We are fair launch proof of work network, and we never had any ICO, no VC, which is actually something we are really proud of, right? So yeah.
Lucas, I ask you a question. My question is about the Web3. How do you think? What do you think about the Web3 mass adoption, like the Web3 adoption in the future? And how far can Flux position itself between the big companies inside the Web3 and outside the Web3 as well?
So, yeah, in our opinion, Web3 is the future, right? I think we have, I think everybody sees that too. All the big companies are positioning in Web3. They kind of have their own narrative what Web3 is about, and I guess that often differs from the blockchain view, or at least our view, right? And they enter the market, the Web3 market, in different areas. Some are focusing on NFTs, some are focusing on different aspects. And I see Flux like different. We see ourselves as like the Web3 infrastructure, right? We don't pick and choose use cases or companies. We want everybody to be able to utilize our decentralized clouds for whatever service they're thinking of, and benefit from decentralization. So, yeah. Just something I want to quickly mention as well, because I want to mention that we also are working with Web2 infrastructure providers, like Lumen Technologies is a really big one in the US. We are working with OVH Cloud, which is a big cloud provider in France. We want to build like a symbiosis between Web2 and Web3, right? We know that for some use cases, like Web2 infrastructure, like these big tech companies with big data centers might be better, but in tandem, people could use Web2 and Web3 together simultaneously, right? For example, they deploy one part of the application on a Lumen technology server and deploy another part on our clouds as a backup or as a like a working together piece, right?
Yeah. So we can just say you are working like the Oracle. You would like to be like a connection between the Web 2 and the Web 3.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I would put it too. Yeah.
Lukas, I think we are gonna do 10 minutes questions from the community. Ask you some questions, and then you are more than welcome to stay. I think Tamer and I, we are gonna take some feedback from the people, listen to their questions, maybe have a little discussion in Arabic. You're more than welcome to stay with us.
Okay, thank you, Lukas, for being with us here today. And I just got one question. So I heard that some crypto projects are running or using Flux network. Mm-hmm. Just could you tell us what are those projects and how they will affect on the Flux token adoption? For example, like are they something like layer 2 on Ethereum network, or they are just using the service you are providing? Thank you.
So, thank you for the question. So we have a lot of partners and projects utilizing the Flux Cloud. We have a lot of infrastructure, so blockchain nodes, for example, running on our cloud. Good examples are Kadena, Fuse, which is a layer 2, OneChain, Dash, Polkadot, etc. But we also have stuff like gaming servers running on Flux. We have DeFi applications, their front end, their website running on Flux. For example, Osmosis from Cosmos is running a backend server, like a backend website on Flux Cloud in case their traditional application goes down, right? And how the Flux token benefits is basically that to deploy something on the Flux Cloud, you need the Flux asset, right? Our whole Flux Cloud is basically built around the Flux asset, the Flux token. So to operate on our platform, you need the Flux asset as like a gas asset. So without Flux, there's no Flux Cloud usage, right? You need the asset, you need to pay, and then you can benefit from it. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you for asking, Tofi, and thank you for answering, Lukas. Lukas, I'm just going to say that we are not promoting for a Flux token. Mm-hmm. We're not telling people to go and buy Flux. We are telling people about a project that I like, that I see potential for, and this is not a financial advice to go and buy Flux. Lukas, the question was about the price action and prediction for the price of the token. The guy saying thanks so much for you for being with us. He's really happy to see a project like Flux interacting with an Arabic community, but I told him that we're not going to talk about the price action. We're not going to give any prediction for the price.
I can't really comment on that. Yeah.
I also told him that you probably are not allowed to speak about that, which we completely understand. The next question is going to be from Kayan.
Okay, Lukas, our friend Kayan just asked 2 questions. The first one was about the hardware for mining or for assisting a node for Flux. Are you planning to have your own, or you have to permit something like from the Flux company? That was the first questions. The second question was about the infrastructure for the Web 3. Do you have, like, in the coming future, lots of dApps who are willing to build on Flux?
One second. So the first part was about the infrastructure, right? So, like I said earlier, to host the Flux node, you can either choose to run the node from home, from your own hardware, your own computer, or you need to rent a server from a third-party provider. We don't have dedicated Flux node hardware from our side that we offer, but we are partnered with third-party vendors, hardware vendors. A good example is Seed Studio, which is a Chinese company. You can buy Flux Nodes hardware from their shop, and it's actually like a one-click solution. So they send you the hardware. They have like a mobile app, which makes it really easy to like install the software and run a Flux node from home, right? You want to translate the first question first?
Sorry, Flux node from your mobile?
Well, I was saying that this third-party provider, Seed Studio from China, from China, they have made like an application which makes it easier to deploy a Flux node, right? So they send you the hardware, and you install an app on your mobile device, and then it's really easy to like install the Flux node software.
Okay.
So we are working with third-party providers that are like offering dedicated hardware to run Flux nodes, but it's not something officially from us. We use partnerships for that, right?
Yeah. Okay. The second question was about the decentralized apps from big companies who are willing to build on Flux. There are in the coming future lots of companies who are building soon on Flux.
We have.
Lukas, I have a question. The Flux blockchain is not meant for dApps to build on top of it, correct?
Yeah, it has no smart contract compatibility.
So I just translated that you guys don't support smart contracts, and that's why that's not the point of Flux, is to build dApps, but actually what you're offering is something different.
So when I say deploy dApps on the Flux Cloud, I mean like their front end, for example, like their website, right? The Uniswap front end that everybody visits, or their back end, the node. But to still talk about this question, I can still answer it, I think. I can give some numbers. For example, right now we have over 2,000 unique deployments, so unique apps that are running on the Flux Cloud. And we have over 25,000 app instances, right? So like I said, apps are redundant. So each app is running on minimum 3 servers. Some of them are running on 10 servers simultaneously. Some of them are even running on 100 servers. That's why the difference between unique apps, 2,000 app instances, 27,000.
I didn't get the difference between these two examples, to be honest.
Okay, so unique apps is unique deployments, for example, websites or blockchain nodes, right? But these apps are running on multiple servers at the same time because of the redundancy aspect, right? So some are running on 3 servers on the Flux Cloud, some are running on 50 servers. That's why there's like the different relation, like a different number.
Okay.
So you could say, for example, 2,000 unique apps, 27,000 app instances, basically means that every unique app is running on an average on 10 servers.
Okay, I get it.
Aspect.
I get it. Okay. Lukas, I also just want to say something. One of the people listening right now, one of our very good friends, Narcos, Mr. Narcos, not the real Narcos, but his name is Mr. Narcos. Mr. Narcos is a very big fan of Flux. He always really gives a lot of nice information about Flux, and he supported us so much in this space. Ahmed was asking about the data that you have on your cloud. Are you allowed to use this data to create apps with it? For example, let's say you have a lot of data from a hospital and patients' records. Can you use this to create something with it? I hope the answer would be no.
Yeah, the answer is no, yeah. You wouldn't be allowed to use it, right?
Okay.
It would be up for these companies to utilize the data and build like an app for that specifically, right?
Okay.
but we don't tamper with the data.
Okay.
That would be bad, yeah.
Okay.
And Lucas, was that what you meant with the whitelisting in the beginning? Like you have just to see what kind of information are going to be provided and all stuff, right?
Yeah, we're taking a quick look, at least, right? What the app is about. What does he want to deploy?
Okay.
Is it something malicious or... Yeah.
Lucas, I think the question that Fadi asked was asked before. He said that the data that you have on your clouds is open source, so everyone can see the data, but no one can change it, correct?
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it depends on what kind of data he means, right? The application data is not open source. The only person who would be able to check it would be the server where it's running on.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said earlier, we are working on a solution for that.
Mm-hmm.
What is public though is what kind of application is running on the cloud, what kind of resources is it using, stuff like that. Like the usage of the Flux Cloud is all open source, right? You can check how many apps we have currently running, how much money the Flux Cloud makes, etc., etc.
Okay, so him as a content creator, for example, if he wants to, let's say he makes a video and he wants to upload it somewhere, and he writes a video script and he wants to upload it somewhere. He makes a photo of the thumbnail, he wants to upload it somewhere. If he uploads all of this, can he use Flux as a cloud? And who can access this kind of data?
He could use the Flux Cloud, yeah. He could use our Flux Drive product, I guess.
Okay.
Which is Google Drive, Flux Drive, right?
Okay.
Or he could utilize our Flux IPFS. I don't want to call it Flux IPFS because it has a patent. But everybody knows what IPFS is about, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're basically launching our own IPFS network on the Flux Cloud soon. So he could utilize that as well.
And who would have access to it?
Well, if he uses IPFS only, he would have access to it. Like the privacy aspect, right?
Okay.
Nobody can access or receive a content before I upload it to YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Lukas, I really want to thank you so much for your time. It was such a pleasure to have you with us. I just told everyone that we are going to let you go now because it's been more than an hour, but we are going to stay. You're more than welcome to stay with us. You're more than welcome to practice your Arabic. I realized every time someone said Assalamu alaikum, your wa alaikum salam was getting better and better. So inshallah, 2 more spaces and we will have it in Arabic with you.
Inshallah.
Lucas, from me, thank you so much as well. It has been a pleasure to meet somebody from the Flux. I've been watching your project for quite a while, and I learned today a few new things. So I really appreciate that you've been with us today. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate you guys too. It was a lot of fun. It was our first space in a content like that, right? With translating, but I really enjoyed it.
Likewise.
It's really great to see that we have over 200 listeners, which is great to see.
Yeah, I told Lucas and I told everyone I'm not going to be happy with less than 150 or 100, exactly. And we got 277, so I'm really happy. Thank you, Lucas, and we're looking forward to work with you guys. I think a lot of people will be interested to know how to run a node, how to use Flux. So we're looking forward to create a good Arabic community for Flux because I think this will be really interesting. Okay, Lucas, thank you so much. We are going to take a lot of questions now in Arabic. Feel free to stay.
Shukran, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Bye-bye. Bye.